what I think you and I have similar things of what do we look for to kind of say, okay, what are clashes of needs and interests and values? What kind of things do you look for that says, well, we know that it's going on, but how what do we look for to manifest it so that way we can kind of bring it forward as a topic or as a reality check or a curiosity
Yeah.
question?
So I have two strains of thought. So pick which one you want to go down. One is how you and I in particular use each other and other professionals to help us think through these more complicated situations. And then what I actually look for when my negotiation conversations, I can see them starting to spiral into areas of true disagreement. So which path do you want to go down?
I like the spiraling because it reminds me of like
Okay.
the suction vortex of pissed off. And also, I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
drives into the emotional content. And not to throw anybody under the bus, but I remember sitting at, the Ram Eatery, sitting down, having lunch, talking to somebody, Jeanette, and looking across the table. And I said, you realize you're like spiraling, right? And you're getting
Yeah,
tighter and
yeah.
tighter and tighter. And you said, no. And I want to go there, but I don't want to completely throw you under the bus, but I think it is amazing and so important to cultivate relationships where within parameters you get to know each other enough that someone can mirror back, like, I'm not
Yeah.
judging you, but are you
Right.
noticing about your
Right.
level of intensity? It seems to increase about that. And
Yeah.
I think that's something that people shy away from and start being nicey nice. So I would love to hear about
Yeah.
the vortex.
Yeah, and we've had several conversations with each other where we've been really frank, where your buzzword is like, Jeanette, you're starting to spiral again, because I'll get really wrapped up in a negotiation and how someone's not giving me data or someone's being rude or bluffing or and I really don't want it to go down the road of fraud, and so I'm getting tighter, like you said, and tighter, and I'll call you and you're like, whoa, you're spiraling, take a step back, and then, like, likewise, I've often told you, wait, you're getting totally caught up in your client's gears. Your clothes are in their gears, and that's why you're stuck. You have to take yourself out of it, loosen up those gears, be able to see it from a different perspective so that they can start to function again and reconnect. And the thing that I look for, and you and I both do this with each other, with our clients, is the really absurd, the ridiculous, the thing in the back of your mind. You're like, you didn't really just say that, did you? You really didn't threaten that. You really are not having a meltdown. I mean, I saw my client at a web meeting. She was present physically in the room with some people, and then I was over the web, and she became so agitated. I was talking about key performance metrics. Like, I wasn't actually like talking about anything personal, but about, because it triggered how much more work she still had to do to get ready for this contract. And she literally pushed herself back from the table and stood up and threw a temper tantrum, a full-on 55-year-old temper tantrum.
Mm.
And I couldn't be there, so I couldn't immediately call a break and go over to her and start reframing. I'm really sensing a lot of resistance to talking about these key performance metrics. I'm sensing that this isn't something you're prepared to do today. How can we? But what you and I do is we start with the I'm sensing and reframing it. Because what happened is that she started talking in front of the camera to somebody else, distracting all of us and all the work that we were trying to do. And it was really clear that she was having a temper tantrum. But people are like suddenly studying the paper in front of them, with the highlighter, and they're like suddenly super focused on what is in front of them
Yeah,
because they were
nothing's
so
going on here.
uncomfortable.
Nothing's going on
Right.
here. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Because they were so uncomfortable with this temper tantrum. And you and I start using those sensing words because people will push back on us. No, I'm not. And then you start another way. Oh, okay. So you're not frustrated. I'm sensing that you're not prepared. because you couldn't actually give me, I would say it nicer, but the metric I was
Mhm.
asking for. And you and I just really start to work. It's like there's a knot, and you and I just very patiently, lovingly, compassionately start to unwind it. But when you and I see a knot, we go to the knot. We're like, oh, knot. Let's go
Yeah.
and where other people are focusing on the papers in front of them and highlighting things and making sure that all of their focus is in front of them and that there is nothing else going on. There is no knot, no elephant in the room, no, this 55-year-old executive is not having a temper tantrum.